That's one intro. In theory, that is an intro. That's not the intro that I normally play. I don't know why that did that. Guess we're still working out the bugs and the kinks on that. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, listen, joint practice happened today. And I'm seeing people take off in a rocket. As C-Dub would say, to the moon. I'm not telling you to temper your expectation of what this show is going to be. But I am saying, I got to tell you probably the truth that lies somewhere in the middle. We got to talk about Caleb Williams today, a very exciting day out of Caleb Williams. Got to talk about what we saw out of the tackle competition on the left side. Look at what this defense did today versus a Buffalo Bills team that, as Ben Johnson has said, is a Super Bowl caliber team. And talk to you about the different periods that we had. All that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got over 100 in the chat already. I need over 100 likes on the video, and I need Bardons in the comments, baby. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, as y'all always do. Y'all know what you need to do right now. Go ahead and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. All right, let's get this started. I got my notes pulled up. It was a very fun day for explosive plays at camp. It was a day where you got an opportunity at 11-on-11 to see Caleb Williams handle the offense, move the offense down the field, kind of pick apart that Buffalo Bills defense. But how it's being talked about is that the Buffalo Bills laid down and died, and that is not the case. Yet again, the reason why Ben Johnson continues to call them a Super Bowl caliber defense. It's not a team sitting over there that is just going to let you pick them apart. Now, to start the day, Caleb Williams looked really, really strong. First 11-on-11 period, beautiful pass to DJ Moore, had a handoff to DJ up the middle, handoff to Swift, and, was using some very good logic, had a play where it wasn't there, threw the football away. Didn't throw an interception the entire day. I left today, as we watched through this, watching the 11-on-11, how consistent Caleb was in the 11-on-11, I left this feeling like, okay, you've got a guy right now who can go out there and who can operate this offense and move you down the football field. That's how I left feeling today, which, to start off, if you're a Bears fan, you know that's massive. You're telling me we have a quarterback that can drive us down the field and put us in a position to score touchdowns? Novel concept. That's how I felt about Caleb Williams today. I was impressed how he handled the Buffalo Bills defense. I thought the footwork was on point. I thought that he was on time. I thought that he delivered the football well. I thought that his relationship between him and Rome Odunze is incredibly exciting to see. And one of the plays that happened that I thought really was the epitome of where Caleb and Rome's relationship is currently at right now is during I believe this was during a 2-minute situational period. They get down into the red zone area, and the red zone was very tough for the Chicago Bears today. It truly was. It was a tough time for the Chicago Bears today in the red zone. As they get down to the red zone, though, they have a false start penalty, which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. I got concerns too. There's a lot of sunshine and rainbows in these Bears streets today, and I don't want to be the rain that washes those away. But there's some concerns on the pre-snap penalty, serious concerns right now. But we'll get to that in a second here. But on that play, pre-snap penalty, moves the ball back. Caleb gets the huddle, gets the offense back, gets the offense set, and there is a problem on the left side. There's a free rusher coming at Caleb. Now, you could say Caleb Williams maybe takes a sack on this play. They don't blow the play dead. Caleb does his little whoop whoop. Hey, watch yourself now. Hey, trying to get away. And where there's 2 defenders coming down on him, he gets the football up, throws what I would say is like a 75-25 ball because there ended up being 3 defenders around him by the end of it, to none other than Rome Odunze. Essentially, the Jamar Chase conversation, essentially the Justin Jefferson conversation that we love to have of he down there somewhere. Hits Rome in both hands. Rome probably would tell you he could have brought it down. I think it would have been a tough situation for him to bring it down. There was a lot of hands in there knocking the ball away. They end up knocking the ball away. Bears don't come away with points on that drive. But point being, the trust that Caleb Williams has in Rome Odunze right now is through the roof. The trust that Caleb Williams has in Rome Odunze right now, I'm going to be honest with you. It feels like Rome Odunze is the number 1 wide receiver on this team. If I was to give you an order right now, and just off percentages of who's getting the ball in practice, I would tell you Rome Odunze 1. I would tell you DJ Moore 2 because of all the ways that they plan to use him. And that is important in this. And I would say you got Olamide Zaccheaus 3 right now. The relationship between OZ and Caleb and Rome Odunze and Caleb right now is 2 of the biggest relationships on this team, and it feels good to say that coming away from today's joint practice, my quarterback is not the person that I'm most worried about. The concern for me today from my quarterback, I'd say is a 4. Didn't throw an interception the entire practice. Didn't sit there and have moments where it seemed like he didn't know what the defense was throwing at him. You know what a lot of the struggles in the red zone period when those did happen looked like? It looked like that's a Super Bowl caliber defense that knows how to stop people in the red zone. We seem to forget this sometimes, and it's okay to say it on the shows that we're doing. This is me talking to colleagues out here who are like this. It's okay to say someone was bad or something was bad without talking about the good, or while still talking about the good, I should say. It's also okay to say something was good while still talking about the bad. First red zone period was horrible. They blanked them. Second red zone period, you see Caleb Williams fight back. 2 touchdowns to Rome Odunze in the second red zone period. Both of them were basically, the one, I'm not going to lie, Rome cooked on the route. It was an over route. Caleb saw him, boom, went through his progression beautifully, delivered the football to Rome, right in the hands, back of the end zone, touchdown. Second one was a trust route. Second one was, I'm throwing this ball to Rome. Rome, you going to make a play. Fit it in there. And I'm not going to lie. The second touchdown, I don't know, what the conversation is around that touchdown. The second touchdown, I didn't see it cross the goal line. I'm not standing on the side. We're sitting behind the end zone, but I didn't see it cross the goal line, but I did see touchdown. I did see the ref put up touchdown. So I'm going to say touchdown on that one. So 2 touchdowns to Rome Odunze in the red zone period, the second red zone period. But listen, there are still things that I look at on this team that need massive improvements. I am excited by what I saw from Caleb Williams today. I don't feel like my quarterback is the issue on this team right now. But none of that matters if you can't snap the football without going backwards. And pre-snap issues were aplenty today. There was so much laundry on the field, you could have thought that it was an army hospital in that month. So much laundry. I mean, it looked like a laundromat out there. False start. They started the situational period, 2 back-to-back false starts. And again, you got to be able to overcome it. I'm not saying that it was all bad, but the final situational period starts off false start on Darnell Wright, false start on Theo Benedict. Theo Benedict is pulled out of the drill. You have a handoff up the middle to Swift for a cutback of 8. Braxton got destroyed by Bosa. I think it was Bosa on that play. Caleb ended up dirtying the ball. It probably ends up being a sack. But then you drop back. He sees OZ over the top. Me and Waddle is sitting there. We like, he's got OZ. He hits OZ over the middle. Gone. Touchdown. Beautiful pass. And yes, it was mostly OZ taking it to the house. But my point in saying all of that is you can overcome some of the issues. My point in saying all that is some of the problems that you are having right now. I'm not saying that you can't fix them by the time the season gets here. I'm not saying that they won't show up or that they won't, pop up consistently on Sunday, or they will. But my biggest concern heading into this season is pre-snap issues, because no matter what, it is very difficult to finish off drives. It is very difficult to win football games when you are not winning the penalty margin. How many teams do you see win a ton of football games when at the end, when that graphic pops up, it says 10 penalties for 115 yards? Now, on the flip side of that, there was a lot of laundry on the Buffalo Bills as well. There were pass interference penalties on the Buffalo Bills defense. There were false starts on the Buffalo Bills offense. There were it was a lot of laundry. Maybe it was this crew today. There were a lot of moments where you kind of looked at it and you were like, oh, like this is there was the first red zone period, because how they are, the fields, you're kind of where we are in the media section, you can see both sides. So I look over this way to look at the Bears, and I see a pass to OZ, stopped short, holding call. We're going back 5 yards. I look over here, Josh Allen throwing the football into the end zone, ball's broken up, holding call. We're going back 5 yards. I look back over here, we got a tip ball. We're going back 5, but we got a illegal formation. We're going back 5 yards. Like it was a lot of laundry today. So I'm not going to sit here and say it was just the Bears having the issue, but it seems to continually be a problem that shows up for the Bears, not just in practice, not just in preseason games, on game days that matter. And that's going to be the biggest issue that the Chicago Bears have heading into this season. I can guarantee that right now. Unless there's some, big fix that's going to happen over the next 4 weeks. And maybe there is. Maybe there is this massive change and there's this massive upgrade. And I will say having all 5 of your linemen set may help with that as well. You still don't have that set. And we got to talk about these left tackles here in a second. But right now, where the Bears are at, when you look at what you're seeing on the field, there's consistently some kind of illegal formation, false start, offensive pass interference. Like, that's getting the playoffs, so you're not as worried about that. But there's so many delay of games. There was a play today where Caleb got the ball off. It was a nice pass. to Colston Loveland. That was for a big run. But I mean, like, there was a second and a half that came off of that clock and they didn't throw it after 0, and they didn't throw a delay of game flag. And I don't know if they counted that or not, but it was 110% a delay of game. The pre-snap issues are going to be the biggest thing that the Chicago Bears are going to have to deal with this season. And I hope it's something that they can get under control as you start to get the offensive line set. But I'll tell you what, and by the way, if you're in here right now, we got to go through some of these real quick. Y'all in this mug. Over 200 in the chat. Over 300 in the chat. Over 400 in the chat. Over 500 in the chat. 500. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit that like button. 525 in the chat. 86 likes on the video. Let's get it up over 100 likes, man. Let's get it up over 2, over 3, over 4, over 5. Let's get it cracking, man. Appreciate y'all for showing up. I'm so excited for this game Sunday because, and I talked about this yesterday in the video, not only do I think it's going to help you when it comes to game reps for pre-snap issues, right? When there's a crowd, when you're getting boos, when you're getting cheers, when you got the team, when you've got another team that's trying to take your head off, when you got all these things happening, I think that those game reps matter so much more for pre-snap issues than anything that you're going to get in practice. But right now, you have a real serious problem with your tackles. I don't even know if we can just say left tackle. Darnell looks fine. I'm not even gonna say something. He looks fine. He doesn't look great, but he looks fine. That's okay. Fine, I can deal with right now. Let's get to great. Let's figure it out. Dan Rochar, you know what you got to do for that. The left tackle competition. There's not a player on the left side worth having a conversation about. And now you've got some change that's happening in that left tackle competition right now. Theo Benedict, we actually talked to him. Make sure you guys tap in with the Chicago Bears podcast today. We actually had him on the podcast. He's kind of risen up through the rep count, not really the depth chart, but the rep chart. He's getting a lot of snaps with the number 1, and he's transitioning from the right side to the left side like Ozzie was, so he's kind of trying to figure some things out. So I'm giving him time. But oof. You want to talk about a guy that's consistently getting his butt kicked. Might I introduce you to the left tackles? Theo cooked today. Braxton looks like and I don't know if it's still the injury. I don't know if he's trying to fight through the injury. I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know. I can't tell you whether he's healthy or not. He's out on the field. All I can do is judge him on the play that he has happening on the field. Maybe he is still banged up. Maybe he is still figuring it out. He looks terrible. He looks bad at football. And I know people are going to tweet at me, oh, my God, what he got to say that about Braxton? Braxton, he's coming off an injury. You got to give him time. He played in the game last week. He's been here for most of training camp. We're not ramping this thing up. We're trying to win a job right now. Oh, well, if he was healthy, he wouldn't look like that. You mean the guy that got sacked with Caleb Williams last year? I think he'd look like that. He spent so much time in Caleb's lap, I'm ready to start calling Caleb Santa Claus. Karan Amagaji's out of the competition. We could just say it. Now, I'm not officially saying that because technically Ben is not ruling him out of the competition. It is technically a 4-man race. But I look at this very similar to how I look at the quarterback position. If you got 4 left tackles, you don't got 1. And right now, it truly does not feel like you have 1 left tackle on that left side that's anywhere close to doing what Ben Johnson talked about in today's presser and taking control of that job, taking hold of that job, and winning that job. Now, I asked J-Mac today, Can you still win with that? And he said, yes, smart coaches, they know, okay, we got to put a running back over here. We got to put a tight end over here to help this guy out. We're not going to leave him on an island. Maybe we have Joe Tooney come over and the guard is giving help there. But you have to make up for the deficiencies that you have right now. And Ben Johnson said as much. This is not me like being mean or being judgmental. Ben Johnson told you, we're not pleased with where the tackle competition is at right now, but somebody's got to play week 1. And so the best of the bunch on that group is going to play week 1. That doesn't mean he's the right guy for the job, because he also went on to say, hey, you might have to move on. We might have to swap a guy in. If he's not giving us the production, we're going to find a guy that can. I'll tell you what, after watching today's joint practice, I looked over at Ryan Poles, who was standing there on the phone, and all I could say was, I hope you got a good trade cooked up, because it don't look like you got a starter out there right now. Now, again, Theo Benedict trying to figure some things out. He's got to get his reps in. He's got to be time on task over there. That does play a part into it. But you don't look like you have a serviceable left tackle right now. At best, your most serviceable left tackle, who is Ozzie, who hasn't been a part of the competition as much this week because he's been getting work in on the right side. They want to cross-train these guys. And this is a good week to get a guy, see how comfortable a guy is at a position that he was good at coming out of college. And he's going to get a ton of those reps with the first team right tackles. But right now, I mean, you're going to have to do some really good developing and really good scheming over the next few weeks to find a guy in this competition that's going to go out there and be a dominant player. You don't have one on the team. Maybe Theo Benedict can become that guy, but right now it looks like you truly don't have one on the team. Hit that like button if you rock with the channel, man. Subscribe to the page if you have not done so. We go live every day talking Chicago sports, man. Got the Morning Breeze. The Morning Breeze will be back Monday because we'll be back in business. And Monday through Friday, we do the Morning Breeze. Got the Daily Show on the channel where we're dropping new updated content and updating you guys throughout the day, man. So stay tapped in with us. Now, a bright spot to a certain point in today's game was the defense. The defense in 11-on-11 forced a lot of issues for Josh Allen. The defense in 7-on-7 forced a ton of issues, but I don't take a lot into 7-on-7. It's a wide receiver DB drill. Yeah, man. But you've got a defense that looks really good right now. And I'm not going to use the word dominant for today. I'm not going to say that they eviscerated the Buffalo Bills today, but I thought there were some really, really good moments, especially in 11-on-11. Now, in red zone, when Josh Allen got near the red zone, he was putting that ball in the end zone. Yeah, Josh Allen's pretty. And here's my takeaway from this, right? I saw that moment, and then at the end, there was a situational period where Josh Allen basically picked apart his way down the field. I don't believe they scored a touchdown on that just because it timed out, but it looked pretty good. I hate to tell people this, and I know this may seem surprising to some people. Josh Allen's really good at football. And sometimes you can play really good defense, and it doesn't matter. He's one of those players. What did surprise me today, I thought Keon Coleman was a really nice piece. And I knew, you looked at him last year and you thought he was going to be nice, but Keon Coleman was getting after it. But I love this. Al Harris talked about this because, a lot of people come up and they say, okay, well, this guy has Justin Jefferson week 1, or he's got CeeDee Lamb, or he's got Jamar Chase, or he's got X, Y, and Z. And I love how Al Harris broke this point down, which is what I thought the Bears truly put on display today at this joint practice. He said, your job is not to play the receiver. Your job is to play the scheme the right way. And if you play the scheme, if you do your job the right way, good things will happen for this team because you're not leaving your brother out to dry. That's what it looked like today. Keon Coleman was cooking. He's getting past Nashawn Wright. He was getting past Tyree Stevens. He was cooking. But guys were playing their assignments the right way. And what I mean by that is you were making sure that you knew where you needed to be in case Gervon Dexter sticks that giant arm up in the air and the ball gets tipped up and then you can run over and you can grab the interception. Or a guy like Alex Cook who, okay, yeah, you caught that football. That doesn't mean I'm done doing my assignment. Coming in, peanut punch, knocking the ball out, scoop and score, takes it the other way to the house. I thought the Chicago Bears did a really, really nice job of playing their assignments extremely well. And yes, there were moments where Josh Allen was out there cooking and just being Josh Allen. That happens. Guess what? Sometimes that's going to happen a lot this season. We're going to sit there and go, oh, my God, why can't we stop Joe Burrow? He's Joe freaking Burrow. Over 600 in the chat. 600. He's Joe Burrow. Why can't we stop Joe Burrow? Yeah, he's Joe Burrow. Hey, why can't we stop Josh Allen? He's Josh Allen. He's pretty good at football. But the Bears defense looks ready. They look like they could start game one versus whoever the Minnesota Vikings quarterback is, whether it's J.J. McCarthy, whether it's Sam Howell. There's a weird situation going on over there right now. And could go out there and get the job done. They look ready. And I think that's such a major difference than where we've been at. The only questions I have on the defense right now is how healthy they are. Jaquan Brisker making plays all day today. Always does. I keep talking about Tremaine Edmonds, how we're going to be having a conversation by the end of this season about how we may have to pay Tremaine Edmonds because of how Dennis Allen is using him. Scheme fit seems to be a real conversation here. And we're seeing guys who fit Dennis Allen's scheme really well and seeing him know how to utilize it. Outside of that, I thought overall today was a successful day. It's a joint practice. You got starters playing this Sunday, 7 o'clock. We will be live for that, so tune in with us on that. Go out there and win that day. Go out there and dominate those drives. Because I guarantee you, if Josh Allen is on the other side, that's what he's going to try to do. It's a joint practice. It was fun. It was cool. You got to see some skirmishes and stuff like that. We had the kickoff. Kickoff always brings some skirmishes, man. They got a helmet and a face mask. It was fun. Don't mean a thing if you go out there and you look like dog water in the actual game. So let's go out there and compete in the game and compete well. Those are my thoughts. Take them for what you will. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Over 622 in the chat, 162 on the likes, man. Let's get over 600 likes on the video. Drop a bear down in the comments below. Got a few minutes left here. Send in any questions that you have. If you sent the question in, send it in again. Just so I can see it, and I'll try to answer these over the next couple of minutes, and then I'm going to get up out of here, man. Deontay Johnson said, Pat, where the Sims at? We're bringing the Sims back. But apparently when Madden 26 came out, Muggs stopped dropping them on YouTube. That's what we was getting. We was finding pages on YouTube. So I'm just going to go buy Madden 26, and then we will continue the Sims from there. Or we can start over. We'll put a vote in the community tab. We'll start over from there. But the Sims will be back coming soon, so stay tapped in with us on that. Rod D said, when is Trapillo going to play at left tackle? Listen, Ozzie to me is when you talk about him in the competition, and I don't know if you're talking about in the game or just in practice, Ozzie to me looks like he has the technique to become the left tackle that we hope he's going to be. He just looks like he's been a right tackle his entire life and now has to go play left. I think technique-wise, he's mirroring well. Like I said in the game, he really only got beat by the cross chop. I thought he did a good job not getting bull rushed. I thought he did a good job anchoring himself. But the problem is, and Ben Johnson mentioned this today, he doesn't have enough aggressiveness on the left side because he's thinking right now. So what they're trying to do is get him comfortable. And on the right side, guess what? On the right side, looks a heck of a lot more aggressive. So it's all about the comfort, not going out there thinking and just being able to go out there and go into that flow state and play. We'll see. But I would say, while I want Ozzie to be the main person who is starting, you're probably looking at Braxton, y'all. Like, you're probably looking at Braxton right now. How did Shamar look today? Like he ain't been out there in a while. He looked like he hasn't been out there in a while. He didn't do a ton today. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like I can't even give you a full eval. Today truly was like him getting himself back in shape. It was good to see him out there though. It was good to see him out there. Don Burr is in here going crazy, bro. Don Burr out. I love that Don is just out here like guns blazing, just like, fight all of y'all. Who has more potential, Rome or Loveland? I'll tell you what, Colston didn't have a great day today. I think the relationship is going to depend on that, though, right? If Colston Loveland becomes, for Colston Loveland to become a Brock Bowers or for him to become a Trey McBride, you got to be the number one target, like Travis Kelce was in that Chiefs offense for years. I don't think he's the number one target. And Colston struggled today. He was sticking to the DBs way too much. A couple of plays that he had that were nice end up having penalties on him, so you can't even count them. Hey, at Pat, after the preseason ends, training camp ends on 8/22, what do the Bears do between then and opening night? Do they still get practice days for Caleb to keep working? Of course. Of course, they're going to keep practicing. We just aren't there for it. What else do we got? Shamar being back is great. That's from Cloud Chaser Radio. Yeah, it is great to hear that Shamar Turner was back. I mean, seeing him out there, it was just like good. You've got time to get him back worked in and kind of catch him up. He's missed. I mean, what is it? Second practice? I think the second practice of the season is the one that he ended up going out. So you missed a lot of time there. What else do we have? I love triggering this kid. I don't even know what's going on with that. Crimson's out there at war, apparently. Crimson and Don Burr at war. Is that what's happening? Who's the left tackle you want to see out there? Like I said, Ozzie's the left tackle that I want to see out there. But I would say Braxton because of the veteran experience, because here's the thing you got to take into account. And I keep saying this. There's not a week where it's great to put Ozzie in. Unless it's off of the bye week. But there's not like, there's a weaker opponent here for you to put him in against. And it's the NFL, so you're not expecting that. But there's not like a slow ramping period. Like you get some of the best pass rushers in football in your building this year. How did the run game look today? It looked solid enough to be able to do a lot of different concepts off of. And that's what you want to see. I thought that DeAndre Swift, when he was in there, had a couple of nice cutback plays, had a couple of big runs. They were more focused on passing today than they were on running the football. Weren't a ton of runs. But again, I love what Sylvie said about this. Line goes forward. Every run that it seemed like they handed the football off, you saw guys kind of falling over, and gaining 3, gaining 4. You do that 3 times, you're at 3rd and 9, and we know Ben Johnson is going for it on 4th down. Who's the defensive back that has been gone for a while due to personal issues? Any update on him? No update on Zay Frazier as of yet. At this point, I am concerned that that's a family issue or somebody in his family, something has happened. It's just all you can do is send prayers his way. That's it. Like there's no update. They're not saying anything. I wouldn't expect them to say anything either. I'm not worried about the O-line. They will dominate. I'm worried about the starting DBs staying healthy this year. I'm worried about the O-line. I shouldn't say the line. I'm worried about how the line handles some of these pre-snap issues that keep happening. And sometimes it truly is just a talent thing. Like, I don't think that Braxton Jones is good enough, and so he false starts sometimes because he's trying to beat his man to the spot, when really you need to be listening to the snap count. Those are the issues that I think are going to pop up on the O-line. As far as blocking, you got Joe Tooney, you got Drew Dom. There was virtually no pressure in the face of Caleb Williams today. There was a lot of pressure from the sides, though. There was a lot of pressure from the sides. Could we see Joe Tooney at left tackle, Pat? No. Why? No. Why? No. No. Leave him right where he's at. He's the best left guard in football. Leave him right on the interior. And I'll be honest with you. I am okay going through. I don't want the struggle at left tackle because you drafted Ozzie and there were left tackles available to you last year and that you could have. Y'all know the whole thing. But having good players on the interior to me is more important for the modern NFL, because if you got that interior that allows you to have a pocket that your quarterback can step up in and not have pressure in his face, and we're seeing Caleb do well with that. What else we got? Question marks. Hit that like button from Torian Whitfield. Shout out Torian, man. Everybody just arguing with Don as well. He did it in KC. He did. He wasn't very good at it, but he did do it. Or I shouldn't say he wasn't great at it. Right now, you got him at a spot where he can be great. Leave him at the spot where he's great. Don't disrespect Tooney like that. Left tackle just going to be a weakness this year. We'll adapt. And that's what you have to do. That's what good teams have to do. And Caleb has to do. Listen, we see teams. We saw the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl with no tackles. We saw Joe Burrow go to the Super Bowl with no tackles. If you're a good quarterback, you have to adjust. But it doesn't mean that what you have up front isn't important. But you got 4 to 5. You know the left side may be a problem. Keep your eyes open. Don't sit there and be like, I got all day with Braxton Jones standing on there. Speed that clock up. I said clock, C-L-O-C-K. Get through your reads. See where you need to deliver the football, deliver it. And we're seeing Caleb Williams do that. And that's what I'm excited about from today. Did Caleb Williams have issues operating the offense, or the offense as a whole is having issues? Offense as a whole. Because here's the thing. I think that it's hard for me to believe, not to say that it's never happening. I do think there are times where Caleb is calling the play. His plays are very long. I think there's times where he's calling the play and maybe he's checking to something and everybody's not on the same page with that check, and that's where some of the pre-snap issues come in. And that could be him calling the play wrong. We're not in the huddle. We don't know. So I can't sit here and tell you this is what it is. But what I will say is this. When I look at Caleb, when the snap happens, he looks like a quarterback that's very much in control. Quarterbacks that are very much in control usually aren't the ones causing the issue. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's how I'm reading it. We'll see when we get into a real game. And we hear from Ben Johnson, and we hear how he feels about it. But that's how it seems to me. It seems like Caleb is very much in control of what he can control. And when he has that opportunity to control everything and the play gets off, it seems to get off without a hitch. Braxton great. Okay, y'all in here arguing over that. Montez Sweat looked good. The only thing, Montez Sweat has looked fine. The only question I have about Montez Sweat, which continues to confuse me, is, and maybe it's just because it's training camp and it's practice, but I don't know. There are these random moments where in very critical situations, right? So this was a situational at the end where the Bills don't end up scoring a touchdown, but they were driving down the field. And we look out there and we're like, where's Montez? Montez isn't on the field. Now, next play goes off without a hitch. They had Dio out there. They had Dominique Robinson out there. Nothing happens. It's fine. But Montez is just standing on the side like he had gotten pulled out the drill, and he was getting a breather on his play because they weren't using him in that package. And that was last year. Remember last year there were all these like random drives where you're like, why isn't your best player in the football game? Why is it Montez in these moments? He's on the sideline. He's just holding his helmet. Like those are the moments that kind of concern me. But even that, I'm just like, we'll see what that is in a real game. We're not there yet. We're just not there yet. Muck the general in the building. Where's Joe when you need him? Said we really need Sweat and Dexter to dominate. Javon Dexter looks good, and Javon Dexter looks good in real time situations. Like today, he had 2 plays where he gets pressure, kind of pushes the center back into Josh Allen a little bit. Allen adjusts himself. He's Josh Allen. Y'all know what he can do. Delivers a football that should be there. Just arms up. Boom. You just hear a big thud off of his arm or his hand. Ball pops straight up in the air. Interception, taking it back. Like, Javon is having a really, really good camp, and I think he's going to take a real step forward here. Planet Billings. Yeah, Billings a big boy, bro. Billings a big boy. But, hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I'm going to get up out of here. Make sure that you guys tune in to the Chicago Bears podcast where we had on the Canadian Eagle today. Tap in with the Canadian Eagle, War Eagle. He said Ben Johnson is not giving him a new nickname. Very excited, though, to see what this left tackle competition is going to end up doing. But as always, man, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. We will be back Sunday live for the game. We'll have content dropping tomorrow as well. But we'll be back Sunday live for the game at 7. Tune in with us. I don't have a post-game show to do, so we'll be drinking, so it'll be fun. Yeah, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.
The best show for Chicago sports.